Hello and welcome to another episode of the Get At It Gaming Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ben.
I'm Alex.
And we're a podcast where we kind of keep it conversational. This is our bi-weekly podcast where we talk about everything from movies to anime or video games, kind of like whatever we want to talk about. Last week's episode, we were talking about anime and how anime has kind of like, found us and we found it. Really good episode. And then, if you want to see us like our faces, the same week that the podcast comes out on the audio version on everywhere you get your podcast from, there's a video version on YouTube. Love for you to hit the follow button on the audio one, but also go to our YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll like it. It's great. It's kind of like charity, but it's not charity. So,
It's free.
It is free. One of the few things in this world that are free for sure. So Alex and I had a pretty good conversation over some game I've been playing. And we wanted to do a podcast just about Zelda. Zelda's been around for a very long time. And I just picked up Zelda Link's Awakening for the Switch. And he was playing the sequel. And we started talking. I'm like, you know what we should do? We should do a whole episode just talking about Zelda, like how cool Zelda is. I do want to drop some quick history here. So the original game, The Legend of Zelda, was released in North America for the NES on August 22nd, 1987. But it actually came out for the Famicom disk system in Japan, February 21st, 1986. Wow, that's a long time ago.
I didn't
Holy
exist.
crap. Yeah, I did exist. I was very young. I remember when the NES came out, obviously everyone's Mario crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you go to people's houses and because there wasn't like a ton of games. Mm-hmm. Unlike today, if you look behind me, you can see my games. You can see Alex's games and movies. Back in the day, this wasn't the thing. People didn't own like large amounts of games. So they usually owned like a couple of games here and there. And I had Super Mario. I think I had Double Dribble, which was my brother's. And then Castlevania. But like going to a friend's house and seeing that gold cart for Zelda, that blew my mind. I'm like, these are all gray, right? Zelda is a golden cart, which was crazy to me. And that was the first time I ever played Zelda, and the whole mission of Zelda and correcting people on the bus. And they're like, so like, does Zelda get a shield? I'm like, no, Zelda's the princess. Okay. Mm-hmm. Link is the hero.
Yeah.
Why they call it The Legend of Zelda? Kids. So since then, there have been, if you just count the main core titles, there have been 21 Zelda games released since then. If you count like Hyrule Warriors or the spinoffs, there have been 33 games or more. I'm maybe missing some games released since then. So it's pretty crazy to me that this is one of Nintendo's best franchises. It's up there with Mario, maybe Metroid. I don't know if Metroid's up there still.
No, Metroid has never been up there, I would say. People might argue that, but
yeah,
it's Zelda, Mario, and then that might be it, honestly. Smash Bros, I guess now, but
yeah. I mean, back in the day, it was like Mario, Zelda, maybe Metroid. Mm-hmm. A lot of people had Punch Out, though. That was the other one. Almost everyone had Punch Out.
Mega Man.
And no, Mega Man, of course. Everyone had like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Very few people had the Punch Out that came out after he got in trouble. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, folks, if you meet Mike Tyson, never bring up this trouble he had when he was younger in jail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. But those were the games. And so the first game that I played all the way through was for Super Nintendo. it was A Link to the Past. Um, I had some friends that had it, and you know, I had like a roommate situation, and that was the Super Nintendo that he had, and that was one of the games. He had that. He had like Batman Returns and something else, but like that's what he had for Super Nintendo. And he was like, "Yeah, I've like finished it like tons of times." So I finished it very long time ago. There, what was like your first Zelda game that you played though?
Mm, probably the original. We had an NES, and the only games that we had with it were the Mario Duck Hunt, and then I think Zelda. Um,
Okay,
I think those are the only two. But when I had an NES, like we had a Super Nintendo pretty soon after that. Um, so like I remember having an NES, and I remember having a Super Nintendo. But I would say, yeah, I would say I probably played, yeah, the original Zelda first, and then I didn't really touch A Link to the Past in my youth. I probably did it more in high school, allegedly, through like other ways and stuff. But
allegedly.
yeah, so like I don't know, like I just never really had it for a Super Nintendo until like later in life because I bought it from like a store or something like that, like a used store. Um, but I played like Oracle Seasons and Ages, I want to say. I don't know, maybe I did that on another thing too, but I remember specifically like playing, yeah, regular Zelda and then Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Like those are the ones that I played. Um, and then I had one of those like choose your own adventure books. I might have mentioned this before, but I had a choose your own adventure book where it was, I think, Oracle Seasons. And
Oh,
so
nice.
like you would just read it and then like be like, Link did this, and then you died or not. But yeah, I remember having one of those, and so I probably had Seasons or Ages at that time. But then Wind Waker was a big one as well, and then after, I would say Wind Waker, I think, was the first one I bought like when it came out, or got when it came out, and then all the others I tend to get them like as they were coming out. So like Twilight Princess, but I got the Wii one. I get the GameCube one. Skyward Sword I got because it came with the gold Wii remote with the Wii Motion Plus inside. I had that. Um, yeah, and then just going from there, like I had all the others. Never really touched the spin-offs a whole lot. Um, like I've never played Hyrule Warriors. The closest I've gone to Hyrule Warriors is that I played like a Wii U demo of it once.
Okay.
But that's probably about it. And then yeah, I'm trying to think of like other spin-offs and oh, I guess Link's crossbow training because that came with the Wii Zapper, so I had that.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
totally forgot.
yeah.
I've not put, if any, very little into the N64s and games, and we talked about it before. The rumor is that we're going to get Ocarina of Time remake. Rumor, complete rumor. If we get it, that'll probably be the first time I play all the way through it. Uh, I know when they redid Super Mario RPG, that is the first time I've played through that whole game
Yeah.
ever, and I loved it. And I think I even told you, man, I played that in handheld mode. I just, yeah, it was such a good game and such good characters. I feel like Zelda is that one character that, because back in the day when you would get a game, you would get the manual and it tells like the whole story. The books for the Zelda, the instruction manuals, some of the best illustrated books ever.
The first one especially.
Oh yeah, it was just great. I have a book, you can't see it here, but I have an all gold book that looks like the Zelda cart. It is the history of Zelda. And it looks like an NES cart, and it's got all those old pictures in there. It's really great. I just don't have it up higher because it's such a giant book.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in my bookcase. You have to lay it sideways.
Yeah.
But we're getting a live action movie next year, which makes me nervous. but like Zelda has been their one franchise that they put on pretty much every console.
Yeah.
Every single console, including their handhelds, has had a Zelda.
Yeah.
It's like Mario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every console had a Mario game.
Yeah. Eventually, but yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, with this, we actually talked about it and earlier as well as for our, I know we're not, shouldn't be thinking about holiday now, but we are 6 months away from Halloween. So just throwing that out there. We talked about one of our holiday episodes being Alex and I complete Link to the Past and then just do a podcast talking about it.
Be very easy to do.
Yeah, it's on the Nintendo Online.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best way to play it with save points, to be honest.
Honestly, you're probably not going to need them. Like that game.
No.
That game has really good saving. Like the only thing that's different is like if you save and quit and come back, you just start at either the castle or you start at like the tower, like Ganon's pyramid or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, or I guess you can warp to a couple other places, but like yeah, most the map is small enough to where you can get where you need to. So like yeah, you shouldn't need to use save states, I would think. But I mean they're there.
That's why I think I like so Link's Awakening I owned before on Switch. I sold it because I was dumb. And I had a deal that I was trying to do on Facebook and the guy accepted my offer. That was one of the games in there. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping this one. Done deal. And it sat for like, I'd say like 2 years, maybe it sat. And Alex was talking about the newest one that just came out where you do play as Zelda. And I was like, you know what? I need to play this game. And then I just took off. So, what was it like 2 weeks ago you talked about it? I think.
About maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, I have been playing nonstop. And I have my last key ready to go to the last dungeon to finish the game. And it's been like really a fun time. Like, I forgot how much these games are. Like, when you get to a dungeon, how the dungeons work, finding the keys, the secrets. There's several of the parts where you have to use the bomb for the secret walls. That's been a Zelda thing forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like what do you think? We have a lot of people that probably listen that are huge in Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of like what Zelda is to like? Obviously, their head mascot is Mario, right? That is their head person. But what about Zelda? What do you think like people think of Zelda?
Depends on who you talk to. If you talk to someone younger, they're going to really connect and like Breath of the Wild or whatever the other game's called. I forget what it's called. Man, I don't remember what it's called. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's what it's called. But there are those people who claim that those are the best games ever. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think those games are fun. I think those games can be fun. They're not Zelda games to me, and they never will be, honestly. They're like a different side of Zelda, like if anything. Like they're very different. They're very open world. They're the closest thing I would say that done something similar would be a Link Between Worlds. Because a Link Between Worlds had a similar thing. It was probably the first game for Zelda that did it, where it's like, all right, you did the first trial dungeon. Now you can do any dungeon that you want to, because you have to go to the rabbit salesman, and he's like, all right, rent an item from me, and you can rent the bow, you can rent the boomerang, whatever you need to complete the next dungeon or the dungeon that you want to go to. You can do that and go there and do it. And complete it and just do anything in any order. So that was really like the first time I feel that Zelda really did something like that. Because otherwise, like, yeah, they're open, but they're very linear. And so I enjoy that linear aspect of Zelda. I enjoy like the thought process or the thought process of them, like making it like very meaningful and story heavy, but then also intricate with the dungeon designs and like how everything's like created to where like I'm doing a lot of this, or I see a lot of this enemy, and then you defeat the mid boss, and it's like, oh, I got the boomerang. Now I can use the boomerang on this. Oh, the boomerang I got here, so I must use it for the boss. And sure enough, you do. Yeah, I would say again, I feel like there's two types of Zeldas. There's three types of Zeldas, I guess now. There's the 2D Zelda, like the 2D old Zeldas, akin to I would say more Link to the Past, Link's Awakening type feel, or Minish Cap. I think was like the last one. No, Link Between Worlds was, yeah. So I would say those. Then there's the 3D Zeldas, which are Ocarina, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, etc. And then there's the open world ones, which are the two latest ones here. Out of the three, I think my favorites are probably the first two that I said, so not the open world ones, just because I just feel like they're better designed games in my opinion. Like I think it's cool and awesome that you can do literally anything in Tears of the Kingdom. That's awesome. That's a cool physics engine. But I don't care about that. I'm not making mix. I'm not doing anything like that. I want to play a game. I want to do dungeons. I want to do it in the way that they intended. And so yeah, that's why I prefer like the more linear style of Zelda. But yeah, you said that you haven't played many Zeldas though.
No, so I played Zelda 1 and 2 for the NES. I played a little bit on the Game Boy Advance. Not very much. I played A Link to the Past, of course. But after that, my history gets really, really foggy. I played a little bit of Twilight Princess. I did play a lot of the one on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really kind of like hit or miss. Like I was not huge into Zelda. And it wasn't until I got my own Switch finally. I started off with a Switch Lite, upgraded to my Animal Crossing Switch, then upgraded to my Switch OLED. And now I have a Switch 2. So I think for me, now that I have a Switch 2, I want to play more. And there's quite a bit on the Switch Online. I mean, there is quite a bit. This one, Link's Awakening, I think where I've really enjoyed it, I remember seeing the Game Boy one, which it was for what it was, the Game Boy Color one. It's still a huge thing.
Well, there's a Game Boy and a Game Boy Color one.
Yeah. The Game Boy, both of them show opening cinematic, which is pretty crazy for the time period. But like, I think now that I'm playing this remake, loving it. I think, excuse me. The big thing I've noticed is the gameplay, how you find things, the side missions. You literally could spend probably in this game, you talked about open world, you could probably spend 30, 40 hours if you did all of the quests.
Yeah.
You do all the heart pieces, you find everything there. And I find all the seashells, especially because then you get the new sword.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the new sword, but I did do enough to get the boomerang. I have the bow and arrow. I have the blue colored tunic, which gives me half damage. And I found almost all of the heart pieces, almost all of them. But yeah, I think, this has been my first full dip back in for quite a while. Twilight Princess, a good friend of mine was like, when we had our Wiis, he's like, oh my gosh, you got to play it. This is like the greatest Zelda game ever. And I couldn't get into it.
It's too edgy for me.
Yeah. My son is a very big Zelda fan, so he has all of them to date except for Link's Awakening and then the new one. But he's got Skyward Sword, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll try that. And I watched him play it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think this one's for me.
It's a fine game. I haven't played it on Switch, but I personally really enjoyed it on Wii because that's what it was designed for. And I've heard from other people as well, like it feels really good on the Wii because that's just
Yeah.
how it is and how the pointers work. Instead of having to reset something every single time on the Switch, you can actually do it as intended. So like, yeah, I recommend if you had the option or the way of doing that for Wii, maybe give it a go again that way.
Yeah, I have a Wii and a Wii U. So, the other thing is I want to bring this up is Miyamoto, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Am I pronouncing that right?
Mm-hmm.
So he not only created Super Mario, but he also created Zelda, and several other games as well. I mean, we're just focusing on Zelda. Pretty creative guy to come up with two giant mascots for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he was involved with Donkey Kong as well,
Yeah.
if I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, just crazy that he is so. I mean, I don't even know how many years he's worked for Nintendo, but
Since
it's
the beginning of the video game market, at least.
yeah, he was very, very young when he started.
Yeah.
So, is there a Zelda game that you've not really played that you kind of want to go back and play?
I never beat Tears of the Kingdom, but at the same time, I don't really care to go back.
We just lost half the people who are listening right now.
It's fine, it's good, but I already played Breath of the Wild. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's like it's a better Breath of the Wild, but that doesn't mean I super care about it. Maybe go through Oracle's Seasons or Ages, because I've only gone through one of those all the way. I don't think I've gone through both of them all the way. I have to think about it. I don't know. I'm in a Zelda kick again to a degree because I've been watching Snowbike Mike play Zelda for the first time.
Yeah, that's where I started.
Yeah, it's fun to hang out in his streams. He calls me Chitara. He's like, "What's up, Chitara?" But yeah, it's a fun time because he's playing Wind Waker right now. So now I kind of want to play Wind Waker again. But in order to do that, like I'll have to like get out my Wii U again. But it's Schrodinger's Wii U because I know some Wii U's just don't work anymore if you plug them back in. And that Wii U hasn't been plugged in years. And so I'm really scared that it's just going to be broken. And so that's why I'm just like, if I just leave it unplugged, I'll never know, you know?
Yeah, I mean, mine works.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest fear with, I bought mine used. I bought it at the flea market. I actually was not going to buy it. And Alex is like, I think you should buy it.
Yeah.
I think he sold to me for like, what was it, like 120 or something?
Something cheap.
Yeah, I think he actually sold to me for a straight 100. I remember. It was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to play it. So you're not going to play it on the Switch too. No. You're going to play it.
I'd rather play
What's
the
the
HD
difference?
version.
Is that the difference? Is the one is the GameCube and the other is the HD version?
So yeah, the one that's on Switch right now and Switch 2 is the GameCube version. And while that's great, GameCube emulation, at least when I was trying to mess with it on Switch 2, it's just a little off. There's a little bit of a delay, and it's enough of a delay that I was like, this feels weird and gross. And so it's like probably like fine for like Pokemon or something, but for something like Zelda, like I wasn't getting used to it. Like I was trying to even play F-Zero, and it was like feeling weird to me. So I have it on GameCube. Like I can play it on GameCube if I really wanted to, but I also have a Wii U. So yeah, if the Wii U works, then yeah, I would plug in my Wii U and I would play it that way. But like I said, it's been a long time since I've touched that thing, so who knows if it actually works or not. So
yeah, I'm totally kicking myself. So I had the Zelda Wind Waker Wii U.
Yeah.
And when I took it into GameStop to trade it in, I had the box and everything. And I traded it in for like, was it like $90 or something stupid? I kicked myself every single day. I was like, why did I get rid of that?
Yeah.
I should never have gotten rid of it. I remember when I first booted it up though, I was like, this game looks amazing. Running on the Wii U. It was HD. It just looked crystal clear. It's kind of like the same feeling I'm getting from Link's Awakening of being so crystal clear.
Yeah.
And people that want it on Wii U now, that game has dropped significantly now that it's on the online store.
Yeah.
It's around $100 not too long ago. You could probably get a copy for like 40, $50.
Probably, yeah. Unlike the Wii U version is the definitive version. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the HD doesn't do super justice to the cell shadedness because there's more depth to the colors and shading and all that. So it doesn't look as cartoony. It's still very cartoony, but it's not as bright. But there's quality of life stuff for like there's a thing halfway through the game where you're searching for stuff in the sea, and in the original game it's double the length, so you have to search for maps. You have to get a map to then search for a map, which then searches for your item. Instead they cut out the middleman. It's just like, here's the map, now that takes you to the thing. So it's yeah, they took out half of that quest, and so it makes it a whole lot better. And then there's also something that you can get called the fast sail, so you don't have to like keep doing the wind and like moving it accordingly. You can just equip the fast sail and it just like changes the wind wherever you move it. So like there's things that like reward you for just being able to play the game, like or if you've already played the game, or like if you just know where to go.
Now, this question's probably going to come with some thought here, but like, so you just talked about how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are not your jam, which that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If they release, besides obviously the N64 remastered, if they release that, what Zelda game do you want to see now?
I would say something that is more akin to the old stuff. So
Yeah.
I well, I mean, I wouldn't say we just had Link's Awakening and the Zelda thing, so I wouldn't say that I want a 2D Zelda again. I would say I want something, whatever the next Skyward Sword would be, I guess I would say. So like something Twilight Princess y, like something like that, like where it's like this is a linear 3D action Zelda game.
Yeah, I agree. I think playing through this, because I always thought, hey, Wind Waker would be a great remaster.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, now that I'm playing this, I'm like, we really don't need another remaster of those.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time, and even in the ones we were doing like our predictions, I think I even said like Twilight Princess is going to be remastered and redone, you know? And it's funny because like I only played like 20 minutes of it. I hope that the N64 one is real. But I don't know. I mean, they said everyone I've listened to, including Kind of Funny, was like, they're going to do Star Fox, they're going to do Zelda. And Star Fox came out, or it's coming out.
Yeah.
And it looks great. So maybe Zelda is it. I would like to see like what you're talking about, like Skyward Sword style, but I want something like brand spanking new, something new. And I don't want it in the Breath of the Wild, like the way it looks so open. I want it to be, kind of like on Link's when you Awakening, you bring up the map, right? You see all the spots, they're covered until you go there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want something like that, like a brand new adventure of some sort. Now you've played a little bit of the newest one where you actually get to play as Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Are you liking it? Does it feel like a Zelda game? Or I know we talked a little bit about that.
I haven't played a whole lot of it, but what I've played, it feels like Link's Awakening, like the redo one, like the remake that you played. In the sense of like there's certain like side scroller sections where like you're climbing up ladders and stuff like that. Like it's built in that same engine. So like I feel like it essentially feels like that, but the combat's completely different. But you have like a dedicated jump button, which feels weird. And then you're just making items. So like it is a combination between Breath of the Wild and a 2D Zelda game, because you have like a crossbar of where you're like finding like last made item or something like that, and you're going through them, and then you choose it, and then you make that item, or you make enemies. And honestly, Like the game will probably have you or want you to like be like, oh, you scanned a bat, now use bats to attack other enemies, and like the enemies just die half the time. So like, or your enemy, like the ones that you create, die half the time. So I'm just like, I'm gonna make a rock, I'm gonna pick up that rock, I'm gonna throw it at the enemy. Like that's just way easier to do. And so there's a lot of Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild built into this, where like you can do a million different things to get to the objective. Like I know there's a meme where they talk about how the bed is the most broken thing in the game because you get a bed at the very beginning to use to get over a ledge or whatever. But like you can like make beds to like do most puzzles instead of just like do what they want you to do. You can just be like, oh, I'm going to go around it and just like kind of use a bed a different way. At least what I've discovered. Like beds and stools and stuff, but I want to say the game's bad. I want to say the game is great. From what I played, I enjoy it, but it still has some getting used to. I really like the beginning, because in the beginning you play as Link, and so it feels like this could have been, or this might be how the next 2D Zelda feels like, because there was that dedicated jump button. Y was your sword, A was your bombs, and then X was your bow. And so like everything was just automatically just mapped to that already, and it felt really nice. But then like the actual story happens and things happen, and then you play as Zelda. So it kind of bummed me out, because I'm like, why are you introducing this really cool thing if I'm not playing this game? So we'll see. I'll get to it again eventually. I'm busy with other things, Final Fantasy and all that. So, but and then Mihoyo, I'm still trying to finish that someday because the movie's coming out, I think, this year. So, yeah, I'm trying to do that too. But yeah, I'll get back to it at some point.
It's so funny you brought up a game you're playing about for the movie coming out. How do you feel about them doing a live action Zelda? Because I will tell you, so far Nintendo is on like a roll with video game movies, right? Both Super Mario Brothers did well, but those are animated by a very good company. So Zelda just seems right. And I think we both talked about it. They are probably going to do a Smash Bros. Movie. I would almost think they would. As many characters they introduced in the last movie, I'm guessing there's going to be a Smash Bros. Movie.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, are you excited for the Zelda movie?
No.
The only thing I know is who they got for Zelda and Link. And they are filming in the same spot where they filmed Lord of the Rings, which is cool. I don't know. I don't know if I feel about this. I guess I need to see a trailer. I know you're not a trailer person. But like, do you think this is going to be good? Do you think?
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like it's going to feel cringe for the most part.
Probably.
Because we're going to have a Link talk. Like that's just inevitable. Like you can't have a main character who just isn't talking unless it's a video game. Like we learned that from Persona, like the animated series, like Persona 4. The Narukami, like he's speaking in the anime. He can't just not speak. That's weird. So
yeah.
We have to have Link talk. It's gonna feel awkward. The action might be cool. Depending on what they're doing, it might be okay. If it's an adaptation of something specific, like if it's an adaptation of like Ocarina of Time or something, then it's gonna be worse. I feel like it should probably just do its own generic thing. Like if they just read it, because I don't know what they've said, like if it's based on anything specific. But the smartest thing would do, make it based on the original Zelda, and have him just like go through these generic dungeons, have him get the white sword, or I guess it doesn't have to. Yeah, I guess the Master Sword, you can call it that, sure. But like, you can do all these things and defeat Pig Ganon. It doesn't need to be Ganondorf. Because I just feel like you don't need that. There's too much. If you're doing Dorf, then you have to do Ocarina, in my opinion, because Dorf only exists because of Ocarina.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say do that. Do Pig Ganon, and then you could do like Moblins and stuff like that. Honestly, they like. I mean, maybe because I'm thinking about some like my streams or whatever, because he named his Link in his latest playthrough of Wind Waker. He named him Luffy. Like, honestly, I feel like a Wind Waker movie would be a lot cooler, in my opinion, because it's just an action. Like it's like a boat adventure. Like I feel like that would be a lot nicer and cooler and be a little more focused. Like, oh, I'm gonna go do this thing. Oh, my whatever was kidnapped. Let me go do this and that. And then honestly, although now I'm thinking about it, that should be like at least 2 movies. So yeah, I don't know what they could do with the Zelda movie and make it tell a story in a single movie. Unless it's the original Zelda.
I mean, as long as they don't do it about Zelda's Adventure or Link, The Faces of Evil, the CDI games.
Wanda Gamelon.
Oh my gosh. I was watching a streamer that played those. The amount of frustration on his face, like, because they're just awful games. They're expensive games. They're like $1,000, I want to say, maybe. Don't quote me.
One of them was, but I don't know.
Yeah, one of them was. You know, I think they've got an opportunity to do something cool. I'm kind of like you. I want it to be based on the first game where, you know, Zelda is taken. Link is the only hero that can go save her. You know, him getting the Master Sword. And they got to throw that music that plays when he gets the, you know, Master Sword or whatever. But I think it could be good. It comes out on my birthday next year.
Oh, wow. Assuming it does come out. So wait, didn't it get moved up though?
Yeah, so it got moved up. It was
okay.
A couple days before my birthday, but this year it's coming out on my birthday. Next year, sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to see like a teaser trailer or something that shows something.
You might see something in like June, I would say.
I think they're gonna have to.
Okay, I mean.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to show something because that's when they did Super Mario Galaxy. They showed something in July, I want to say.
Yeah.
And it wasn't coming out to the next year. So, you know, and I know they have a contract to do 4 movies, maybe. So we're gonna get this live action, then we're gonna get a Smash Bros. It'll probably be just the original Smash Bros. Characters.
Now, so here's the thing. It's not gonna happen.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
Well, no. Like however the Smash Bros. Movie works, it's not gonna be Smash Bros. But do you think Captain Falcon's like if we're doing original Smash Bros? Luigi is gonna be there. I'm thinking of like secret characters. Luigi. Do you think Jigglypuff and Pikachu are gonna be in this movie?
I think at least Pikachu. I think Captain Falcon should be there.
Well, Ness is a secret character too.
I don't think they're going to hit the secret characters as much as they have like the original just roster.
Well, because Captain Falcon's not an original roster. That's what I'm trying to go at.
Yeah.
Like he was a secret character.
Yeah. But I think they're going to have Samus. They're going to have Zelda. They're going to have Mario, Donkey Kong, Pikachu. I want to say, right? Was it original?
Yeah.
I just remember the commercial where they're all walking and they're holding hands and they're in the costumes and it just breaks out into a giant fight.
Yeah.
And I think they could probably pull it off. I don't know, but here's my only fear is they're not going to do, if they do a Smash Bros movie, they're going to be like, we're going to take as many people as we can from like Ultimate and get them in the movie. That's my only fear.
I don't think they can. Like, I feel like they're not going to be able to get a lot of those. And so that's why the safe thing is to just do the basic. Like, you're not going to get like you're not gonna get what do you call it, Shulk or Homura Hikari, Pyramithra. You're not gonna get Snake. You're not gonna get
Cloud.
like Cloud, Sephiroth, Minecraft Steve. Like you're not gonna get all these like extras. You're not gonna get Banjo. You're not gonna honestly. You're not even probably gonna get any of the other extra Pokemon or whatever.
No, but I do.
Or Pit. I don't think
Right.
Pit's gonna be in this. Pit isn't relevant.
I think they'd be able to get Mega Man though, even though it's not. He's not relevant really.
Maybe.
I think I'd be like, I think Capcom would be like, oh yeah, sure. Capcom's on like a super high right now.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 games in 1 year that came out that happened to be like really good games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I know that everyone I've talked to about a Smash Bros movie, they are not excited. They're like, I just don't want it to be like just thrown together and it's just like, how many characters can we bring in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I know we talked about A Link to the Past we're going to play, and we will have a future podcast on that. You know, the only other game I want to play, I think, is Minish Cap is the other one. And that's by Capcom,
It's
right?
a Game Boy Advance one.
Yeah. That's
Actually, Oracle of Seasons and Ages are also Capcom, I believe.
Yeah, I guess they did a couple. Capcom did a couple. But everyone that I talked to said Minish Cap's the one to play.
Minish Cap is really good. It's a very nice game. It plays well. Feels good. It has a lot of good story beats as well with Vati and all that. But yeah, it has some annoying parts to it too. So I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever, but yeah, that could be a good like 2D Zelda. But I out of all the 2D Zeldas, I probably still prefer Link to the Past the most. In like the original version too, not the Game Boy Advance version. Game Boy Advance version is weird. It's like Super Mario Advance, like those, where like they add voices to things, and you're just like, this feels weird that this Link is yelling, and he's yelling like Ocarina of Time, but this isn't Ocarina of Time Link. Okay. But yeah, Minish Cap is good, and yeah, it's on the Nintendo Online on Game Boy Advance, but
I was playing. Oh, go ahead.
I would play Ocarina, or I would play Link to the Past. If they don't announce a remake of Ocarina, I would say just go for it. Just do it. It's very, very good. It feels great. It plays very well. If you can play on an N64 controller, I recommend it because that game was just built for that. There's the 8-bito like fake N64 controllers as well, like that you could try to get maybe too. But yeah, the N64 controller for that is definitely good. And then Majora's Mask is a masterpiece. I love that game so much. So I actually beat that game recently. I got all the masks and everything. I never go for heart pieces because I just don't care enough about doing all of those. Because like I don't need to do that. So I just, if I see them, I get them. But I'm only really there to just do the masks because those are needed to do like to get the final one. But yeah, I recommend those for sure if you can.
Yeah, I think a lot of the heart pieces I just was at the right place, the right time to find them.
Yeah,
I wasn't like out looking for them. So I get that. And if they don't announce an Ocarina of Time remastered, I will, or remake or whatever you want to call it, I will probably play it on the N64 online. Because for me, that's the most convenient way of doing it. I still don't own an N64. I'd like to. They just seem pretty scarce in the wild. I haven't found one that was decent in a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I'm not like, I didn't buy the really expensive one because I was like, I don't think I'll ever use this one. But yeah, you know. Okay, so one last thing here. We talked a lot about Zelda. How do you feel about the Zelda cartoon?
It's bad. Awful.
Do you think in the movie he's going to be like, well, excuse me? You think he's going to do that?
I think they're going to avoid all of that. Like, the Legend of Zelda cartoon is awful and like it doesn't have any charm. I feel like the CDI games have more charm than that cartoon.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But did Zelda show up in, what was it? Captain N?
Maybe. I think they both showed up in the Captain N. Maybe.
I think you're right.
But I don't remember like how much. Yeah, I own Captain N. I keep forgetting that. I haven't watched it. Or my set, so but yeah, I keep forgetting that I own Captain N now.
I have one. I'm watching a couple on eBay right now. Because I really do want it. What's that?
So I got mine for cheap. I don't remember how much it was though.
Yeah, yours was cheaper than what the average I'm seeing is like 85 to 100, sometimes more.
I think I paid 40.
Yeah, you definitely got a good price.
Yeah.
I think the episode I keep thinking about in the back of my head is with Bayou Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, gosh, they're just throwing stuff in this.
Because they can back then at least.
Yeah. Yeah, we tried watching it. The kids sometimes get into it. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
You know, they liked the Mega Man cartoon more.
Yeah.
So, plus it was a really good opening.
Yeah.
So, well, I will say this. Zelda has been like a huge inspiration in my life. I know Alex's life. And me playing Link's Awakening has been something that has been like, man, I got to play more. And that's when we talked about playing more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this podcast or you're watching on YouTube, in the comments, which you can comment on both, comment what your favorite Zelda game is. Like, tell us which ones are your absolute favorite. It could be the ones we played. It could be something completely different. We would love to hear it as well and kind of like see what you guys are all playing. If this is your first time here, this is the Get Out of Gaming podcast. We are a bi-weekly nerdy podcast. Talk about everything from video games, movies, anime, whatever we want to talk about. This one here was our Zelda one, kind of we're talking about Zelda and stuff. We've got a couple good ones coming up here. If you could please hit the follow button, would be great. We're on pretty much everywhere you get your audio podcast, but also make sure you go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We're at 303 subscriptions right now. I would love to get to 400 before end of the year. That'd be great. Just get us to 400. You know, I mean, if Carrot Top has more than us, I get it. He's probably pissed at us.
Yeah.
For Alex's comment, but
yeah,
and we're not going against Carrot Top, but at least get us to 400. So, was there anything else you want to say, Alex?
Not really. Just get at it.
Get at it.